everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany, this is the Brittany React Show, and on today's show we have a lot to go over, a lot of trailers. It's not just the Minecraft trailer, although we're definitely going to get to that, but there's also a new Wicked trailer, there's a new Arcane trailer, there's a new trailer for the Penguin, I believe there's another trailer as well, plus, you know, a bunch of other entertainment news, some box office stuff. So we have another really good full show to cover today, a lot of good stuff to talk about. I'm very, very excited to get to some of these things, including the Minecraft trailer, which might turn into a roast, depending on how I'm feeling, but we'll see. Thank you all for being here, genuinely appreciate it. Sorry if you hear the chimes in the background. But how are you guys doing? Hi someone, hi Vincent Hole, hi Mockin, hi Cinnamon Roll, hi Aaron, hi Sunset Draws, hi Nate, hi Roo, hi DeBoy, hi Josh, hi Cream Cheese, hi Aaron. Thank you to each and every one of you who came to my show today. Deeply, deeply appreciate it. I know I saw Natanya as well. Hi Mercedes. You guys are always great, you're always here. I really appreciate it. Love this community that I've built. I really, really love you guys. Love you loads. Seeing some highs. Hi Cheetah Viper. Hi Nick. Hi Morbid and Sarcastic. Alright. Yes, let's just get straight into it because we actually have quite a bit to talk about this week. Some weeks there's like not a lot of entertainment news, and then some weeks it feels like you're just drowning in entertainment news and it's like, how did they, why is it all coming out in one week? Anyway. Let's just go straight into the topics for today. Starting with box office. So, Beetlejuice comes out this weekend and it's projected to do very, very well. It's projected to earn $145 million in its global opening weekend. That's really, really good. That's strong. I mean, I think that's mostly domestic, so I think this might be like a very domestic heavy movie. But I think it might do well enough domestically that it'll make up for like not doing as well overseas. Because I think this has a potential to do pretty well. I think Jenna Ortega's pretty like, she's blowing up. Everyone's talking about her. I think she might be able to get like a younger audience to want to see this. And then like, there's an entire older audience who grew up with this movie. So like I said, I think this film was engineered to have cross-generational appeal, and I think this will probably do pretty well because of that. So I'm predicting that it's probably going to do pretty well. I am reviewing this movie as well, so that will be what we talk about on Sunday in our Sunday review. So make sure you're here for that. I'm very curious to see how I feel about this movie. I'm honestly not sure what to expect because the reviews are kind of so-so. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not like glowing either. It's at 79% right now on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's an okay number. Not terrible, but not great. So we'll see. I think Tim Burton's been like very hit and miss, so I'm not even like, I don't even really have a lot of faith in him. So I'm just hoping that I have a good time, really. That's where my expectations are with this movie. Is anyone else planning to see this film? Anyone else excited to see more from Beetlejuice? The boy says, funny story, my mom found a box of Beetlejuice-themed green apple Fanta Pop at the Costco recently. Well, they're really getting the word out about this film. I do feel like the marketing is strong. Like, I feel like I'm seeing Beetlejuice everywhere as well. Vincent says, I don't have a problem with the Gen Z actors. The problem is the writing. Yeah, let's hope the writing is strong. I've still got my fingers crossed I like this movie. I know some of you don't think Jenna Ortega is that great of an actress, so I'm wondering if maybe this will be the movie that'll have you won over by her. Someone says, hopefully Beetlejuice doesn't have 17 minutes of screen time this time. I have a feeling he's going to be in this movie a lot, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright, so let's move on to the next topic. Speaking of creepy things, Coraline is, well, you guys know that it just got re-released in theaters, and it's doing very well. The overall global total now is at $230 million, making this the highest grossing stop-motion film of all time. The film had a $60 million budget. Unfortunately, not every Leica movie does this well. This is by far their most successful movie by like a good margin. Um, which is a shame because I feel like they've made some really good movies, and I feel like they have the potential to make another Coraline, but I do feel like the last few movies that they put out just weren't very commercial at all. I told you guys about that Missing Link movie that some of you guys didn't even know about. I just thought it looked horrible based on the trailer, and I'm like the prime audience member for that kind of movie. So I'm hoping that with this next film that they have coming out next year, they're returning to more like some commercial sensibilities. And the only reason why I'm like worried about how commercial Leica is because I want Leica to be around for a while. I want Leica to really, Leica's like the only one right now that's keeping stop motion alive. So if they go under, that's a really big hit to an entire medium of animation that I really like. So I'm hoping that they stick around so we keep getting more stop motion movies. I just hope that they're not as non-commercial as like Missing Link was, because I mean, they're a very artistic studio. You can tell every movie they make, it's for the art, which I really like about them. But I also think that they go so artsy, they forget that, you know, they're supposed to be an audience for these movies. I do think that they've been progressively getting more and more artsy and less commercial, which is why they've been having such, I would say, bad success recently. But the movie that they have coming out next year looks very promising. So I'm hoping that Leica can turn things around with their next movie, and maybe it'll become the next Coraline. Who knows? But what do you guys think? Are you surprised how well Coraline has done? How do you feel about Leica? I would love a Coraline too, but they keep saying no, so I don't think that's gonna happen. Riru says, "Oh, Shelly Lee! Oh, thank you so much for the super chat and the compliment. I really, really appreciate that. Really, thank you. I tried something new today." What was I gonna say? I think I missed that comment. I think Riru says, "I tried watching the Missing Link movie and I turned it off because I kept losing interest." Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that movie, to be honest. I think it was a flaw from the conception up. Josh says Leica is doing stop motion and live action projects, which is fascinating. I didn't hear about them doing live action. That actually kind of makes me sad. I want them to just focus on stop motion. I don't think it's the medium that makes sorry. I don't think it's the medium that makes stop motion not commercial. I think it's the fact that the stories that they've been trying to tell aren't very commercial. Like, they're getting into really niche territory. I think the reason why Coraline was successful is because I do think it's fairly commercial. I think they gotta strike a nice balance between, you know, doing it for the art but making sure you still make money. And I'm hoping that this next movie turns things around. Anyway, moving on to the next topic. So Alien Romulus is doing okay. I would have loved to have done better, but I think it's doing well enough that it hasn't embarrassed itself. I think that it probably broke even at the very least, maybe even made some money. So I'm happy for the movie. That said, I don't know if this is like so good that they're definitely gonna like speed run another Alien movie with this cast. They probably won't give up on the franchise, but I have a feeling like with the next movie they're gonna try again with a new cast. So I really want to see the next part of this movie because I really liked it. They left it on a bit of a cliffhanger, so I'm hoping we get a sequel, but I'm really not holding my breath at this point. Even though it did okay, I think they were hoping it to do a little bit more than okay. But what do you guys think? Sorry, give me 1 second. I need to do something. But what do you guys think about Alien Romulus? Do you think we'll see a second movie? Do you think this is a good enough box office that we'll actually see another movie with the same cast? Or do you think they'll try to reboot the franchise again with the new cast? What do you think? Just give me 1 second. Coraline is considered pretty gothic red banana green. I would say so. Du Bois says, "Never would have expected Romulus to do this well. Good for them." Yeah, I know. I feel like this movie probably did as well as it did just because of word of mouth, because I don't think the marketing was strong. Josh says Alien Earth looks cool. I thought that series would be huge for Hulu. Oh, you think that series could be huge for Hulu? We'll see, we'll see. Maybe if it's as surprisingly good as Alien Romulus, more people will check it out. Eli just says, just found out Laika mistreats their animators. Oh no! I don't think I will support them anymore, and it's sad with the success of Coraline. I hope the artists get the support they deserve. Man, animators are treated like trash in this industry. It's so sad. But I mean, unfortunately, Laika would not be the first, and they're likely not going to be the last group of animators to be mistreated. I mean, how many stories have we heard out of Disney, particularly, that their animators are mistreated? Sony as well with the Spider-Man movies. Illumination actually gets a lot of their work from overseas. So that's how they're able to keep their budget so low, because they pay people less. They can get away with paying people less because they outsource a lot of their animators. So it's not really good. It's not a good time to really be an animator working at a major corporation right now, because they will exploit you, it seems, especially in Hollywood. Vincent says, do you think a 2D animated movie could make $1 billion at the box office? I think if there's any 2D animated, I don't know. Probably not 2D animated, to be honest, but like I do think there's a chance that a 3D animated movie could make $2 billion. And I still think that the movie with the best chance at that is Shrek. We'll see how Shrek 5 does, but I really feel like it'll do very well, but we'll see. Moving on to the next one. So, Deadpool and Wolverine just passed 1.25 billion. This movie is doing very, very well. I told you guys I would be the first to admit when I was wrong, and I was wrong about this movie. I really thought this film would not do as well as it did. I honestly thought there was even a strong chance that it wouldn't pass $1 billion globally. Thought it would get close, to be fair, but I didn't think it would cross $1 billion just for a number of reasons I won't go over again. So the fact that it passed 1.25 billion, pretty strong. Pretty strong. In fact, if you look at what the top 5 highest grossing movies of the year are so far, we have number 1 with Inside Out 2, that has like over $400 million more than Deadpool and Wolverine. That's crazy. And then you have Despicable Me at number 3 with $915 million. That's very close, actually. The fact that it's still consistently strong and staying like around $1 billion per movie for the Despicable Me franchise is very, very strong. Like, they're never gonna stop making Despicable Me and Minions movies, like, at all. Will probably be like 10 years later and they're on Despicable Me 8. Like, I really think they're gonna just keep making them forever. Dune Part 2 made $711 million. I like that it made that much, especially since that's a very more avant-garde, you would think more of a niche kind of film. Because I know Dune isn't for everyone. I've seen some comments on my videos even, of people being like, I don't get the Dune hype. What's up with Dune? But enough people like it that it can cross 700 million worldwide. So we're gonna get another Dune movie, maybe even 2 more Dune movies. I don't know, but I'm very much looking forward to more Dune. I really like this universe. And then number 5, surprisingly, because this actually came out towards the beginning of the year, but Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. People really like their monsters. I wish that it was Godzilla -1 that got this box office. Because to be fair, I didn't see Godzilla x Kong, but I'm willing to bet Godzilla -1 is the much better movie. I would be surprised if they're anywhere comparable, but you know what? This one's probably more commercial, I guess. You know, I think Godzilla -1's pretty commercial. But anyway, this is the top 5 list for the year so far. Any surprises that stick out to you? Or would you have predicted this at the beginning of the year, that this is what the top 5 would look so far? What do you guys think? Cheetah Viper says, Dune, surprising, but I'm happy. I liked it. Yeah, I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised that it did as well as it did. Eli says, LOL, Despicable Me is so high they will never stop making them. Nope. Until they're 90. Oh, they're just never gonna stop making those movies. Vincent Hull, yes, Inside Out 2 beating the Lion King remake. That was pretty surprising, but I'm glad it happened. Deserved. Du Bois says, I still haven't seen Dune, but there's a lot of hype around it. I really like Denis Villeneuve. You should really try it. If you like Denis' style, you'll like Dune, because it's very Denis. Okay, Ruru thinks this makes sense. So far, honestly, I'm not totally surprised by this top 5. Maybe the most surprising thing for me is that Godzilla x Kong did so well. But the top 4 is I'm not surprised by at all. But anyway, moving on to the entertainment news. Now, let's not bury the lead. I was, when I decide the order of things, sometimes I'm like, should I focus on this? Should I start with this? But oh my god. I'm not going to bury the lead here. Let's talk about the Minecraft trailer. I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of thoughts. Let's just slowly scrub through this trailer and break it down, okay? We're just going to talk about every single thing that confuses me. Alright, so, the first thing that confuses me and how this trailer even starts. It starts very weird. Sorry. If I stay on here for so long, for some reason it doesn't want to play the trailer. I don't understand it. But it's very weird how it even starts. With some weird chanting going on. Do you guys hear this? What is this weird chanting? It's like seance music as you go into the portal. That was the first hint that I had that this trailer was something special. Very, very weird. I knew we were about to get into something interesting, and I was not let down. So, what I do like is that they keep showing a lot of the wide, picture angles of how this land looks. I did say that if they were going to do a Minecraft movie in live action, I wanted a fully recreated Minecraft world. And I technically got what I asked for. I got what I asked for. And you know what? I actually don't think the world itself looks that bad, to be honest. Yeah, I think the lighting's a little flat. I don't think it needed to be dark, but I do feel like the lighting is extremely flat here. But I do like at least the way the world looks. That's probably the only positive I can give it here. I like that the trees are blocks. I like that it's a very blocky, mountains and all of that. I think the world itself looks good. That's probably my only positive here. But what I don't like are the humans. Why are there real humans in this fantasy block world? You guys know I've been telling you I think this movie should have been animated. And I think this trailer just proves why this should have been animated. Okay, if you're gonna go with live action humans, at least make them look like blocks. These are just regular, well, I think regular might be a stretch and we'll go over that, but these are just supposed to be normal humans, right? And they just went through this portal and now they're in the game world, the big scary portal at the beginning with the seance music. Let's just talk about the costumes. I mean, Jason Momoa. I really like Jason Momoa, okay? I really do. I think he's a strong actor. He was the best thing in the last Fast and Furious movie. I don't really care for either Aquaman movie, so I'm not about him as Aquaman, even though I don't think he's bad casting. I just don't think his movies have been very good. But I have seen him in other stuff like Game of Thrones and Fast and Furious, where I'm like, no, he's good. I really like him. And I typically think he's a very attractive dude, too. But it's the costuming department and the hair and makeup department said, how can we fuck him up the best we can? And they nailed it. If that was the assignment, they nailed it. So, I don't understand what's happening with the wig. I don't understand why he's in a pink Barbie jacket. If these are supposed to be regular people, right? That just, oh god, we'll get to that. If these are supposed to be just regular people, right? Why are at least 2 of them dressed so weirdly? I mean, at least the kid just looks like a normal kid, right? Plus, I think it's really funny that they have just like the one kid here. Because they're like, oh yeah, kids mostly play Minecraft. But I forgot. He almost feels like an afterthought. Like, oh yeah, we should probably add a kid in this. Because everyone else is like way, 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 way older than him. But anyway, why do we have two people? I mean, she seems kind of normal too, I guess. I guess the kids are normal. Because like, what is she wearing? What is this weird, like, 80s jacket with the weird embroidery and the bright orange collar? I don't understand. I also don't think they gave her the best look that is flattering either. So she looks strange, and then he looks even weirder in my opinion. I don't know how you took freaking Jason Momoa, who can be, like, really hot, and then you turn him into this? He looks like, oh, well, I don't know if I can say that. I don't want to offend anybody. But, okay, I'm going to say it. He looks like a gay version of Jesus. You know, with the Jesus hair, but like he's very feminine and camp. He looks like a very gay Jesus. That's what I get when I look at him. I don't understand him. I don't understand it at all. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I mean no offense across the board. That's just what he looks like to me. So anyway, we have these real humans. They did not attempt to make them blocky at all in this block world. And then we get the first look at the blocky animals. Like, what in the world? Not only do they look strange and uncanny, but like, look at its eyes, man. Look at its eyes. Like, that is not okay. What do you mean? What do you mean this is how your animals look? I just... Can someone explain why they decided to make their animals look like this? I mean, this is cursed. This is some cursed-ish right here. This is deeply in the uncanny valley zone. Just bizarre.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's my reaction. Okay? I'm her right now. Like, that is my reaction. I don't understand. Okay, anyway, I like the world, but the animals look creepy AF. And we're not done with the animals, by the way, because we also get pigs. We also get pigs who also look very creepy and demented. And they look like they're made out of clay. And they fit with the world, but then when you put them next to the real humans, like, the humans don't even look like they're actually in this universe. Like, they stick out. Like, I can tell they're just walking around on a green screen or something. But these also look very weird. The wolf kind of looks normal, I guess. I like that the moon is a block. Like I said, the world itself I don't think is bad. It's how all the elements they've decided to incorporate inside the world that do not mesh together well. But it seems like, you know, like you do in the Minecraft universe, you just hit something and it turns into something else. Seems like they're playing into that because we had Jason Momoa just hitting the table and something appears. So it looks like they're going to have abilities to be able to mold this Minecraft world like the game. So that's interesting. I've seen a couple people in the chat say this looks like Jumanji. I guess this is like the blockier Minecraft version of Jumanji. But anyway. And then we do get, like, every time we do get like a wide shot of the world, I'm like, man, imagine if instead of real people they had like block people and this was animated and this is what the animated movie looks like. Because honestly, all the wide shots of the world look animated anyway, because it is. So it's weird that we have like this clearly fully CGI world that looks animated, but then you throw in real humans in there, it just looks strange. It looks strange. I do like how it looks at night. That's kind of cool. I don't know what's going on with this cube there, but I mean, look at these! These cursed AF pigs. Am I supposed to look at that and not feel uncomfortable? I mean, look at this one over here in, like, the cardigan. I don't trust him. I don't know. These all look very cursed to me. And then look at Jason Momoa, who I'm not sure who looks worse. I'm sorry. Anyway. We have Jason Momoa doing a very shocked Pikachu face, like something weird is moving in the background here. Don't know what that's about. Very creepy. Really, there's lots in this trailer that feel creepy, but I don't think it's supposed to feel creepy. Is anyone else creeped out by this trailer, or is it just me? Someone says they gotta fix Jason Momoa's outfit. It's not just the outfit, it's very much the hair as well. But he doesn't even look the worst in this movie. We'll get to like the very end of the trailer when we go over Jack Black, but he doesn't even look the worst, which is crazy. It's a fuzzy creeper. Oh yeah, the creepers are in the game, right? I believe they are in the game, but they do look very, very creepy though. Very, very creepy. Okay, lots of you are saying you're creeped out, so it's not just me. I'm glad it's not just me. Oh no. Wait, do I see one person who actually thinks this looks good? Well, if you think this movie looks good, more power to you. I still think that there's a chance this movie could be a hit. Sorry, I really think that there's a chance that this movie could still be a hit. I think that this movie could be memed into being a hit, because this just seems like the kind of movie that was made for memes. Seems like the kind of movie that was made for TikTok. Honestly, I would even go as far as to say they took a lot of inspiration from Barbie. Thinking, oh, Barbie really works because they went into a Barbie world and that was very bright and very stylized. Let's do the same thing but for Minecraft. I really think Barbie was the blueprint for this movie. And I don't know if that was really the way to go for Minecraft. It's very jarring so far. The sheep is nightmare fuel? Yeah, okay. So we're all agreeing there. And then we get the evil pigs again. Very strange. And then Jack Black, who, I have to say, generally I like Jack Black. I really do. I usually love him in a movie. He usually steals the movie for me. I think both him and Kevin Hart steal the Jumanji movies. I think he's really great in most of the things that I see him in. I even think he was great as Bowser. I think he was probably the best thing in the Mario movie. I loved the Peaches song. Oh man, I was unironically playing the Peaches song on Spotify, okay? I really like the Peaches song. I like Jack Black. I don't know what they're doing here. They said, you know what would be funny? If we put Jack Black in a blue shirt and call it a day. Because that's what they did. I mean, how they're looking right now is how I'm feeling. But also, just look at how this looks. Just look at how weird and like they don't even look superimposed into the scene. It's just the lighting is so flat. Like, what is going on here? I mean, they really said we're just gonna take Jack Black, take him off the street, put him in a blue shirt and call it a day. And that's Steve. Y'all, they did the bare minimum to turn him into Steve. You guys know who Steve is, right? He's like the block character. That's the main character of Minecraft you see in all the posters for Steve and everything. For those who are not gamers, let me find a picture for Steve. I probably should have got this, but let me show you. Because, I mean, you probably already know, but I just have to show you just for reference. This is the person he is supposed to be. Right? You guys remember this? Yeah? You've probably seen this, even if you haven't played the game. You have probably seen this image at least once in your life. And then this, just look at it, side by side. Jack Black versus Steve from the game. And tell me, they put a blue shirt on Jack Black and called it a day. That's as much as they did. I mean, what is going on here? I really like Jack Black too, but he's quite literally like, he's not only miscast, but they did nothing to make him look like the character he's supposed to be. And then we get more creepiness from the aliens. I mean, not the aliens, they look kind of alien, but I guess from the animals. Still very creepy stuff. I don't know, this movie just gives me a lot of creeps. Like, what in the world? I can't. I think all the aliens, I keep saying aliens. Oh my god, why do I keep saying aliens? They just look so weird to me. But all the freaking aliens. Animals! Animals! I can't say animals, I just want to call them aliens. All the animals look very, very weird. Super uncanny. I would say this is like, if it weren't for The Flash just coming out last year, I would say this was Uncanny Movie, the movie. Because, while I think The Flash is a lot more uncannier, this is still pretty uncanny, this movie. Very, very much straddles the line between super freaking weird and super, super freaking weird. Like, it's just, any freeze frame you make to this trailer is like, that's really what y'all decided to make this look like? This was really the final decision you all came to? This? Really? I mean, how many people looked at this image right here and said, you know what, this looks good? A lot of people said that. Why are the back two dressed so weirdly and the kids are the only one dressed normal? Anyway, that's my review of the Minecraft trailer. I like the little, the animation for the logo. That's cool. But then we go straight to this curse-looking thing. You know what? I'm just not here for it. I'm sorry. Anyone actually like this Minecraft trailer? I want to know your guys' thoughts. I was doing a lot of talking. Sorry. But I want to know what you guys are thinking as well. Okay, it looks so bad, says Rodney. Ugly Sonic vibes. Speaking of ugly Sonic vibes, you know, Jared Hess actually said, who I believe is the one that's, I think he's the main producer on this movie. Is he the director? I don't think he's the director. It might be the director, but one of the big guys behind this movie actually said that the Minecraft live-action movie goal is to avoid the ugly Sonic situation. He said this back in January. Y'all, he said he can't disappoint the 10-year-olds or they're going to murder us. So where's the wave of angry 10-year-olds? Because they must be walking down to their house with pitchforks. Because boy did they miss their goal. This is the goal. And they missed it. Oh, they missed it. They missed it so bad. So yeah, I do think this is an ugly Sonic situation. I mean, Jason Momoa. What happened to him? How do you go from Khal Drogo to this? I mean, what a brand shift. What a brand shift. Jack Black. Just in a blue shirt. That's all they did. They didn't even like tell him to cut his beard, do his hair, nothing. I mean, what? This thing. We really gotta talk about this thing. Why did they make the animals look like that? Why do their eyes gotta look like that? I mean, I know I'm going into like super, super detailed. I know I'm going into detail now, but like, really, there's a lot to talk about here. Not to scare you all. But yes, what do you guys think about the Minecraft trailer? Do you think it looks as bad as I have been telling you I think it looks, or do you think there's actually some potential here? Do you think this will be a hit? Or do you think this will be like a huge, massive box office bomb? What do you guys, how do you predict this movie will actually do? Kay, you thought this was fake? Oh, no, it does look like a fake movie, yeah. Du Bois says, aside from how horrifying the animals look, are they going to use the piglins as the villains? Feels like a weird choice to me. There's a lot of weird choices in this movie. A lot of weird choices. Charity Moon says, saying 10-year-olds tell you they were not going to take this seriously. I don't even know if 10-year-olds will want to see this movie. If anyone knows a 10-year-old out there, do you think they'd want to see this? I know the first Jumanji does look a lot better. I actually really like the Jumanji movies. The first one more than the second, but I do like them. Josh says, I hope it's a fun adventure movie. It at least has an enjoyable quest. Yeah, I mean, this could be like a fun movie. Could be a very fun movie. I don't know how good of a movie it's going to be. Like, I feel like this is just a meme fodder. Someone says it could be a hit. I still think there's a potential it could be a hit. Like I said, this movie could be memed to 1 billion, so who knows? We'll see. Oh, Ja Pedro, you like The Wolf and the Piglets? Okay, okay. The pigs make it feel like Angry Birds? Oh, I hope it's better than that, too. Cheetah Viper says, no, a 10-year-old won't like it. I don't think so, too. I think 10-year-olds deserve better than this. Confused Baguette says, I can see it now. 17% Rotten Tomatoes and 1.2 billion gross. Oh, you're very bullish on this movie. Okay. We'll see. Maybe it could just be a streaming movie for kids like Ryu says. Who knows? I will definitely update you guys on this movie when it comes out. And I will definitely be reviewing it. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that live stream / video. Alright. Moving on. So we did also get a new Wicked trailer as well. It doesn't show a whole lot new, just kind of reinforces a lot of what we've already seen before. I love how much the marketing is focusing on the relationship between Elphaba and Glinda. That is a huge part of the story, so I'm glad they're not just like all being like, oh look, Ariana Grande's in our movie. They're like, no, look at the story, look at the characters, which I appreciate. I do think that this movie also kind of looks... I like the amount of real sets and practical environments they use. I do appreciate that. But I also think there is something about the lighting of this movie that looks like it's too overly done. Like, it looks like, what is the word? It looks too glossy at times. Like, look at this. It just looks like there's this weird glossy sheen on everything that kind of makes everything look fake, even when they're actually shooting on real locations. I don't particularly like whatever filter they've got going on over this movie, but we do get to see more from Fiyero. I believe this is Fiyero, who should have been played by Harry Styles. They did consider him, but I think he turned him down. But he was on the shortlist for a long time. And then we get to see just a bit more of Elphaba doing things that are getting her in trouble. I mean, if you've seen the actual Broadway show, and I have, it looks a lot like the Broadway show just brought to life. So I appreciate how much attention to detail there is here. I see we got some of Ariana Grande crying. You know, the only acting I've really seen from Ariana is from her Victorious days, and I always thought she was a better singer than actress even then. So this will be her chance to prove me wrong, that she is an actress. Because I already know she can sing, and she can sing the part. But can she act it? Stills like this give me hope. They do. And then I think this is probably the defying gravity moment. Really looking forward to that sequence, that whole song. Overall, I still hope that they, like, showcase more that it's a musical, because I still feel like they kind of hide that from the trailer a bit. But also, I'm really hoping that they, like, try to communicate that this is a part 1. I don't think they've really been doing enough in the marketing for this movie to tell people that this is only half of the story. It's a part 1, and you have to wait until part 2 to see how it ends. A lot of people are going to go into this movie and be very upset because they're not going to know about that, because they're not promoting that fact. And I have a feeling it's going to probably hurt a lot of the audience scores and audience ratings, like Cinema Score and stuff, that's usually judging based off on, like, where your expectations fulfilled, because I feel like a lot of people are not expecting this to only be a one-parter. So I suspect that the audience scores will probably hurt this movie a bit. But I'm hoping that it's a good movie overall, and, like, the Broadway fans of this show up. Oh, we get SpongeBob! Oh, I missed him. Where'd he go? We haven't seen SpongeBob much, if any. Like, they have been trying to hide him from the marketing. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. You guys know why I'm calling him SpongeBob, right? That's why everyone calls him. This is the dude that caused all the baby mama drama for Ariana. Very, very funny. This is like his only shot, and I think any trailer that I've seen for Wicked so far, like, they are not, like, putting him in the forefront of this movie marketing at all, which I think is probably a good thing. But anyway, Are you guys excited for this movie? Do you think the trailer looks good? Are you interested in this movie at all beyond just me trying to hype it up? Be honest, do you plan to see this movie? Do you think this movie will actually be a hit? I think there's a chance. I think there's enough of a fan base for Wicked that I think the opening weekend could be decent. But I do wonder about, like, will people show up for this movie after that, you know? I don't know just yet. But what do you guys think? Josh thinks Wicked looks epic? Okay. Oh, Jay says they should have replaced him with CGI? I don't think they could do that. Okay, Jayla thinks it's going to be good. Ethereal's gonna stream it. Cowboy fan is very excited. Oh, okay. Vincent thinks this movie could beat Moana 2. I don't know. I mean, you guys already know that I'm personally more excited for Wicked than Moana 2, but I do know that Moana is very, very successful on Disney Plus. Like, I think it's still in the top 10 streaming. Like, people love that movie. For me, I never even cared for the first Moana. I never understood why people liked it so much. I also hated the music. So, I'm not super excited for Moana 2, but I do think it could do very well just because I know a lot of people do like it. So I still think Moana 2 could be a big hit, but who knows? Who knows? Hi, Negret. Evil Connor says, does this movie have any fun group numbers or just ballads? Yeah, there are lots of good group numbers, like Dancing Through Life, that's a fun one. No One Mourns the Wicked, that's another fun one. Sorry, I'm still a bit stuffy. But yeah, no, there's a few group numbers. There's actually there's a lot of good variety in songs. I really think the soundtrack is great. Like the original soundtrack for the original Broadway show, I think is one of the best Broadway musical soundtracks out there. I really do. Oh, Nathaniel agrees. Okay, Moana's overrated. That's nice. I'm seeing most of you guys are really looking forward to this movie, so I'm hoping it makes money. We'll see. I got my fingers crossed. But moving on. So we also got a trailer for Megalopolis, which is quickly becoming, like, I'm really, really excited for this movie. Like, genuinely, I'm getting super excited for this movie. If you don't know what this movie is, it's from Francis Ford Coppola. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but I'm gonna try to summarize it again. But this movie has had a really hard time getting seen and getting made, because this is just like a personal, like, passion project from Coppola. Like, he just felt like he had to get this story out there. He had to get this story made and told. But no one, apparently every executive he told the story to, they were like, that'll never make any money. That's a bad idea. I don't want to fund that. So he had to use his own money, not raise his own funds. He has a lot of money. But he used the money out of his own pocket to pay for this movie. And then even after he made the movie, he still couldn't get a distributor to want to distribute the movie because everyone was like, this movie's horrible. What did you do? This is an abomination against cinema. So he had to, like, force this movie through the festival circuit. And now he's forcing this movie into theaters. Like, despite what everyone has been trying to tell him, like, please don't do this. Like, you're gonna waste your money. But he didn't want to listen. But now this movie's being released. And what's funny about the marketing for this movie now is that they're kind of leaning into the bad reviews and the bad sort of negative perception of this movie. Because if you actually watch this trailer, something that they open the trailer with is that, oh, Francis Ford Coppola has always been misunderstood. Like, like they're like gently easing you into it, like, don't listen to what the critics are saying. He's just being misunderstood. It's a misunderstood masterpiece. Like, that's very much the vibe of what they were trying to get across in this trailer. And I have to say, I'm really looking forward to seeing how weird it is, because apparently it's a very weird, out there movie. And I actually think it looked interesting. It looks bizarre. It looks strange. Every time you, like, freeze frame the trailer, you're like, what the heck is even going on here? Like, there's a snow globe, people are in a snow globe, but then, like, you see some really weird stuff when you freeze frame. Like, what is this? I have no idea what's going on here, but like everything that's happening in this trailer makes me want to see this movie more. Um, it's starring Adam Driver, something to do with the New York. Apparently, this is like also a Roman Empire story, so it's supposed to be like Roman Empire, but happening today. I have no idea. That also intrigues me. Apparently we're in space now too. Like, what is going on in this trailer? I think he also has powers and abilities or something. And I'm like, Adam Driver, what are you doing with that stick? But anyway, some very weird stuff. And like, there's a part of the trailer where it's like, imagine if the globe or the world was just like a different branch of reality. And I'm like, wait, we're gonna go into time travel now? Like, what's happening? Like, this movie looks weird, okay? It looks very strange. And we got the Roman Empire stuff. Very interesting movie. Like, if anything, it looks highly original. And I kind of want to see, like, what the heck is this? Seriously. No, like, what is this? I want to know. Like, I have to see this movie. I will definitely be seeing this movie and reviewing it. I will definitely be reviewing it. Just because to me it looks so out there. So kooky. And like everything that's been said about this movie is like, this is the weirdest movie you will ever see. But I have to see this now. I have to see it. It's gonna flop. Ain't nobody gonna see it. But I'm gonna see it. And I'm gonna tell you about it. Because I want to know what the heck is going on in this freeze frame. I want to know, are we in the future now? Is this what the future looks like? I'm very confused. Also, why does it look like this? And like, there's protesters and why is he in this? Why is he in everything? What in the world? I just can't. Again, like I said, it's like Roman Empire, but in New York, but like also in the future. Very, very weird stuff. Very, very weird stuff, but I'm very much looking forward to this movie. Quickly becoming one of my most anticipated movies for the rest of the year. Aubrey Plaza's in it for some reason. I don't know. It actually has like a very stacked cast. Like, why is James McAvoy here? Very, very, like, Lawrence Fishburne? What? I don't know, man. I don't know. But everything I saw in this trailer convinced me that I must see it opening weekend. And I don't think there's many people out there who feel that way, but like, when I see this freeze frame here, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Yes, this, right before here, this. I want to know, what the heck am I looking at? Why does this look like a very, very weird version of the future where, like, all the architecture in New York has changed? Very strange. Very strange. Anyone interested in seeing Megalopolis? Anyone interested at all? Did I make you interested? Did I pique your curiosity? I know people are very confused about Aubrey Plaza being in this. She's very booked and busy. Ethereal Dragon says, what if the Roman Empire never fell? Maybe. Is that what this is? I'm not sure. It does look AI generated, right? It looks bad, says Red Banana Green. I mean, everyone says it's bad, but that's kind of why I want to see it. I'm very curious. Ethereal Dragon says hard pass. Yeah, I don't think many people are going to want to check this out, but I will be there. I will be there. Anyway, moving on. So we also have a new trailer for Penguin. This is a spin-off of The Batman. If you guys remember, Colin Farrell played the Penguin in that movie. He's getting his own Max series now, because, you know, they're trying to MCU-fy everything. The trailer looks okay. I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't really like mafia stories or gangster stories or stuff like that. They've just never interested me, like, ever. So I really don't understand why he deserved his own show. But I know a lot of people really liked the movie and liked his character. I just don't know how many people are out there that are like, I must know more about the Penguin. Like, I must know more about his story. I feel like this is just filling in a lot of information no one asked for. But maybe some of you guys are like, oh, I love mafia stories. I love gangsters. Let me watch this. I mean, it'll probably be decent. I don't think it'll be bad. But I do think that it doesn't look like anything that I would usually watch or be interested in, to be honest. I don't see myself watching this. But is anyone interested in watching this? Is anyone like a really big fan of the Batman and you want more of the Batman and you're really upset that the Batman 2 is seemingly taking forever? So this is just gonna, whet your Batman appetite. Is anyone really looking forward to this show, or you're just like, why in the world did they give the Penguin his entire show? That's kind of how I'm feeling, to be honest. He also looks very gross. Like the makeup they gave Colin Farrell is not pretty. Anyway, anyone looking forward to the Penguin show? Okay, Cowboy fan thinks Penguin looks good. The boy says, I swear they're going to run out of comic characters to make spin-offs eventually. I don't think they're ever going to run out. There's just too many of them. Cheetah Viper says, I did not like Penguin in the Batman movie with Pattinson. Yeah, I didn't. I thought he was okay. Rye Noel says, did Warner see how Disney Plus shows worked out for Marvel and thought, hey, let's do that too? I hope you're being sarcastic, because I don't think the Marvel shows helped them at all. Yeah, I'm really worried that the same thing could happen to DC if they go down this path. I really think that they should just try to keep TV and movies separate, like how DC was doing it, where they had like all the CW DC shows, but that they weren't connected to the movies. I'm so sorry. I really hope that at least I wanted them to stay disconnected, because I think that was better for both the TV shows and the movies. Now that they're trying to combine the two and have them all exist in the same universe, that's really risky, because we saw how badly it went with Marvel. Oh, you're watching Game of Thrones for the first time. I hope you like it. Some of you were excited for it, some of you were just like, meh. Some of you are saying you might give it a try. So I'm very curious to see how well this does ratings-wise. Like, how big is the audience for Penguin? I'm not sure. Moving on. We also got a new trailer for Arcane Season 2. You guys know I love me some Arcane. One of my favorite shows airing today. Love Arcane so much. I was blown away by the first season. I think by now you guys know that I don't easily impress. It takes a lot. It has to be something really special for me to be impressed by something. I was very impressed with Arcane Season 2. I genuinely was. I mean, not Season 2, but Season 1. I really did not know what to expect when I sat down to watch it, and by the 4th episode I was like, oh, what is this? This is something special here. But anyway, really excited. Love Jinx. Love that she's the main baddie of Season 2. That even her own sister, who has to come with the realization that her sister is gone and there's only Jinx now. Because now Vi is going to have to go up against her own sister and take her down, which makes me so sad. Because I don't want to spoil anything, but it makes me really sad that the situation between the two of them. But anyway, it's seeming maybe Jinx is going around conducting terrorist attacks on the city. That's kind of what it looks like. And so we have, I'm forgetting her name. What's this character's name? If anyone can put in the chat what this character's name is, I forgot. But anyway, we see that she has to team up with Vi to take down her own sister. Oh, it's so poetic. It's so Shakespearean. And then I think this is Vi right here, who seems to be very upset. Because obviously she's having to go against her sister. It seems like very interesting stuff going on in the city. It seems like this time it doesn't just take place largely underground. It seems like, I think, Jinx has taken the fight to the street level of the city, which that's really cool. Seems like there's some graffiti, maybe Jinx becomes a symbol of resistance against the people in charge or something. That's cool. I think that's really cool. So I just like how much this is focusing on Jinx, and it's still very much about the sisters, but it does seem higher stakes because now it's all about fighting against, like, trying to save the whole town and not just the underground city. So anyway, this looks really good to me. I don't know what's going on, like, what the hell is happening here? I have no idea, but I'm still very curious and excited to see. Good. Again, I can't recommend this show enough. I don't know how good Season 2 will be, if it will stand up to Season 1, but I have to say, just looking at this trailer, Season 2 looks every bit as good as Season 1. So I'm looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to this. Anyone, I mean, look at this. She's got, like, big, like, gloves, like punch gloves. Like, what is Vi doing? I don't know, but I'm excited to see. But what do you guys think about Arcane Season 2? What do you think of the trailer? Are you looking forward to the show? Ruru is excited. Cowboy fan, you still gotta watch it. It comes out in November. The second season comes out in November, so you have a little bit of time to catch up. There's only like one season. It's like what is it? Like 8 episodes or something. Not a whole lot that you have to catch up on. So really, I highly recommend it. Yes, I know I said higher stakes. I meant higher stakes. Vincent says, Disney really needs to learn what makes Arcane special instead of copying the success of some movies and series with the LGBT representation without understanding what makes them so special. Yes, I do think, Caitlin, that's the name, thank you. Yes, I do think that, like, Arcane is a good example of representation done right. Something that I still think Disney really struggles with and hasn't really nailed quite yet. So yeah, I would think Arcane would be, like, the standard for LGBT representation. Okay, Cinnamon Roll's very excited. Mawkins resubbing to Netflix just for Arcane? Wow, that's impressive. Alright, moving on. So, Josh Brolin has been offered the role of Hal Jordan in DCU's Lantern series. That's interesting. I mean, first he was Thanos, and then he became Cable, and then now he could be freaking Hal Jordan / Green Lantern? He's just racking up all the superhero / supervillains here. I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's not like it's not like Josh Brolin looked like himself when he played Thanos, so I guess it's okay that he plays someone else. And to be honest, I don't think that the Cable character and Deadpool 2 really stood out enough to be memorable. So I don't think a lot of people even remember that he's in that movie. So I guess he could play Hal Jordan, even though he's already played a number of superhero characters before. I just think that it's odd that apparently the backup options are like wildly different to him. Like apparently Matthew McConaughey and Ewan McGregor are reportedly also in the mix to play Hal Jordan. And to me, those 3 actors cannot be more like wildly different. Like, especially Matthew McConaughey versus freaking like Josh Brolin. How are those the same type? Like, how are they being considered for the same character? Very, very weird to me. But anyway, very curious to see who they end up casting for this role. Also, I'm actually kind of surprised that the show is even being made. Like, when James Gunn announced his plans for the DC Universe, I really thought, like, maybe 2 of those things were actually going to be made. But it seems like, no, Warner Brothers is serious. Like, they're actually, like, putting things into development. Like, they're actually planning on making these series. Not just the Green Lantern series, but they're also still going forward with the Supergirl movie as well. And I'm just like, wait, they're actually serious? They're actually planning to make this stuff? I really didn't think that most of that stuff was going to get made, but maybe I was wrong. Anyone interested in a Hal Jordan Green Lantern series, and who would you want to play the role? It's not a movie, Aaron. This is a series that's going to go on HBO Max. Or just Max. Oh, Du Bois, you think Thanos is a great choice? Okay, so you prefer Josh Brolin, alright. Arvin thinks that they're all too old. Yeah, they're obviously going for an older Hal Jordan. That's interesting. I do wonder, so far, just looking at the casting in the DC universe so far, I think the youngest person they've casted might be Superman. Otherwise, it seems like James Gunn is consistently going for the older version of characters. Oh wait, there's also Supergirl who's younger. But for the most part, James Gunn seems to like the older versions of characters a lot. I do wonder if maybe that's going to make the overall universe skew too old. Like, they need kids to be interested in this too, and I don't know if they're going to cast everyone who's, like, older, if that's really going to help have this more of a wide appeal. Ryan Reynolds again? I don't think it could be Ryan. He is squarely Deadpool. But anyway, it could be an interesting series, maybe not, who knows. But speaking of DC, apparently they're also considering having Luca Guadagnino as a director. And I love that. I think Luca Guadagnino is actually a really good director. If you don't know who he is, he mostly makes smaller indie movies. Actually, he mostly makes smaller queer indie movies. Like, he made Call Me By Your Name, which you may have heard of, which was Timothée Chalamet's huge breakthrough movie. I really like him. I really loved Call Me By Your Name. If you guys didn't know, that movie, Call Me By Your Name, is possibly in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Love that movie. Love it a lot. In fact, I loved it so much that I did something I almost never do. But it prompted me to want to read the script. Yes, I found the script to that movie and I read it. It was a whole phase. And then I was like, oh no, the script was so short. Let me read the book. So then I read the book. Yeah, that's how much I really loved the movie. It made me want to read the script and the book. I was like, oh, this is good. So I really like Luca. I think the fact that they're considering him means that I think DC wants to go in a more serious route. Obviously, we already knew that because of the Batman and stuff like that, but Luca is really more of like, he has a lot of indie cred, so I feel like they're trying to, I guess, get the DCU to have more respect by picking up these, like, respected indie directors. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. But, I don't know. I think a DC movie directed by Luca Guadagnino could be very interesting, actually. What do you guys think about this movie or this director? What do you guys think about him possibly joining the franchise? Are you familiar with his work? What do you think? Cinnamon Rolls says, yes, I have not seen Call Me By Your Name, but the cinematography looks spectacular. Yes, it's a very pretty movie. I actually mostly liked it for the story, but yes, it's also a very pretty movie. It is a lot of love. Seems like most of you guys are not familiar with him. That's fine. But we can move on. So, Joker. Joker really, really... I mean, this was kind of surprising. I guess maybe it shouldn't have been surprising because critics didn't really like the first Joker either. But I really thought, just based on the trailers for this one, that maybe this would appeal more to critics because it's a musical, because there's Lady Gaga in it, just because I thought the trailers in general looked really good. So I was expecting this to have more positive reviews coming out of the award circuit, or the festival circuit, sorry. And unfortunately, it's not. It's now at 51%, or just a 51 on Metacritic, which is a very mixed to average score, so I was like, that's pretty low. I wonder what it's going to debut to on Rotten Tomatoes. And apparently it also debuted to about a 60 on Rotten Tomatoes, which, if you don't know, that means it's barely fresh. It's 1 point away from being rotten. So, not a great score, not the kind of score that they want to just sit there until the movie comes out. But again, the first Joker also wasn't loved by critics, so this might just be up to the fans to save this movie and say, yeah, critics, you're wrong, like they did with the first one. Because, yeah, a lot of the reviews coming out about this movie are not the best. So I was very surprised to see that. Very surprised, especially with the smile. Like the part where Lady Gaga is like doing the smile on the window. Like, that's so beautiful. That's cinema right there. Like, as soon as I saw that in the trailer, I was like, oh, this is going to be the kind of movie that critics love. And so that didn't turn out to be the case. That's very shocking. What do you guys think about this movie? Are you still excited for Joker 2? Do you care at all about the reviews? Or are you like, I only care about what audiences think? What do you think? Do you want Lady Gaga's new album? I do too. I like Lady Gaga. I'm still interested in music from her, not just movies. Someone says, I'm only excited for Beetlejuice 2 and Sonic the Hedgehog. I think both those movies would do really well, but I'm surprised Joker isn't garnering, like, more hype. Like, I mean, the first Joker was huge. So I'm really surprised Joker 2 isn't, like, being more hyped. Is it just because it's a musical? Is that why people aren't interested? Because Ethereal Dragon just said meh. I'm surprised. Seems like a lot of you guys are talking about Gaga's music. Like, what? Cheetah Viper says, I'm seeing it in theaters. It takes a bunch for me to get a babysitter. I'm so excited for this movie. Oh, okay. If Cheetah Viper's seeing it in theaters, then I know that there's something there. Because you almost never see something in theaters. So that gives me hope. Jayla Whooper says, I feel like the first Joker, Oh, you like the first Joker, so I might as well watch the second. Why do you feel like you might as well, though? Why are you not excited to watch the second? Why are you just like, oh, well, I might as well see it? Like, I feel like that's the general impression from most people that are just like, I didn't ask for a sequel, but I guess I'll go see it. Like, that's not the attitude they probably expected from this movie. Okay, Joe Pedro, you care more about public reviews. Alright. Morbid and Sarcastic wants to know more about the story. So you don't think the trailers have been very effective? Okay, we'll see. It could just be that it's a musical. For whatever reason, the general public just really does not F with musicals right now. That makes me so sad as someone who loves musicals. So we'll see. I wish musicals were as popular as like, superhero movies. That's how much I love musicals. But anyway. Todd Phillips is apparently not worried about it potentially flopping. He says if it doesn't feel like it's dangerous, if there's not a good chance that they're going to fail spectacularly, then what's the point? Basically, he's saying he wanted to go after a huge swing. He wanted to make a huge swing because he felt like that's the only thing that's worthwhile doing, and I respect that. I do think that they're going for a big swing, that's for sure. I mean, with the musical aspect, but also bringing in Lady Gaga. These are really bold, creative choices, so he is definitely swinging for the fences. I hope it pays out. I hope it pays off for him because I'm actually really excited for this movie. Moving on, so George R.R. Martin calls out Hot D for all the changes that season 2 made from the books. He wrote a whole blog post, y'all. I'm not even going to read the whole post because it's too long. Also, there's a lot of spoilers in it, so if you don't want to know what happens in the rest of the show, maybe don't read this whole thing, but this is how long this blog post was. Like, dude had some things to say. He was very upset. I mean, he wrote a whole essay about why he didn't like season 2. I mean, I know I've been complaining about season 2, but I guess since, you know, he wrote the book, this is his story, this is his baby, he feels a lot more ownership over it, because he, like I said, he wrote an essay. He wrote a book. He wrote the book he should have been writing. I mean, this is not the book he should have been writing, but he wrote this book just to complain about how much he didn't like season 2. So anyway, his main complaints about season 2 was that it wasn't faithful enough to the books, that he didn't like how Blood and Cheese went down, he didn't like eliminating one of Aegon's son that was in the book. He said that all of these many changes affected a butterfly effect. That in his stories, if you change one thing, it changed so many other things down the line. And to him, he felt that they made too many changes from the books, that it just, I guess, thoroughly changed how the story was supposed to go, and that's why he was dissatisfied with it. I mean, as someone who has never read the book, I can't comment on how accurate the show was to the book. But I can say that I had a lot of issues with it as well. I thought the pacing was slow. I thought there wasn't enough happening. I thought, like, there was too many scenes where it felt like we had already done this. Like, the characters were just talking in circles. Like, I just felt very much like the writing was much weaker than season 1 and the pacing. So I feel like my issues for why season 2 was bad, or at least not as great as season 1, are different than his. But maybe if they were more accurate to the book, maybe I wouldn't have thought the show was so boring in places. Maybe it would have been more exciting if, like, say, Blood and Cheese was more impactful. Because I didn't find that sequence to be all that impactful or major when I watched it in the show. But apparently it was supposed to be like that in the book, so I don't know. Maybe if they were more accurate to the book, I would have liked this season better. But my issues were mainly just in the pacing and the writing this season. I thought it was a huge step back in both of those regards. What do you guys think about season 2? Did you read George R. R. Martin's post? Do you agree with him? Did you read the original book? What do you think? He's experiencing PTSD of season 8. I just want to know. I just know there's somewhere, like, lost blog posts of him just ranting about season 8 somewhere. Like, maybe he wanted to post it, but he never did. Oh, I just know he had thoughts about season 8. I just know he did. Prototype says next he'll get a Tumblr account. You guys are funny. Aaron says Hot D season 2 could have been 4 episodes. All of the content they had in those 8 episodes could have been condensed to 4 episodes. That's how much the story was stretched out. I agree. Rai Noel says, don't understand why he didn't complain about being cut from 10 to 8 episodes. Well, he did address the fact that apparently this season had a lot of budget constraints because Warner Brothers is broke. So I think that's why they cut it down to 8 episodes from 10, is just to save money. But I do think that cutting it down those many seasons and cutting out, like, a lot of action set pieces, I think that's part of why the season 2 was not well received. Who even read all that? I don't know. It is long. Ruru, you think this is hilarious? Why do you think this is hilarious? This is funny. You guys are funny. But anyway, moving on. We're almost done. So, Ahsoka Season 2 is actually happening? I did not realize this. I didn't know Ahsoka Season 2 was actually a thing. I thought this was, like, quietly canceled. But no, apparently it's coming back. And it's expected to begin filming summer of next year. Which means it probably won't even release until, like, probably 2026? Which is so late after the first season. Like, why are we having these long gaps between seasons? I really, like, I don't know about you guys, but when there's a long gap between seasons and it's something that, like, I watch really quickly, I almost never remember what actually happened by the time the next season comes around. Like, I'm gonna have to refresh my memory on what the heck even happened in this show, because I don't remember at all. Are you guys still looking forward to Ahsoka Season 2? Are you surprised that this is actually coming? What do you guys think about this show, and what do you think about, I guess, Star Wars in general? Seems like you guys are surprised. You think, okay, Ethereal Dragon thinks that this show is better than The Acolyte and Obi-Wan. I thought they were all on the same level of quality, in my opinion. Which is to say, I don't think any of them are very good. Snorka, oh, okay. You know what really drove me crazy about Ahsoka? Is that she kept doing this. You guys remember? That's like the only thing I remember about this show. Literally the only thing I remember about this show is the fact that Ahsoka kept doing this. Like, anytime she had a thought or was listening to someone about something, this was her go-to. It was just to cross her arms. Do you guys remember that? That's quite literally the only thing I remember about this show, because she did it so frequently. I hope they give Rosario Dawson some better stage direction, because I don't think she knew what to do with her hands. Du Bois says, no more fucks to give about Star Wars at this point. In my mind, Star Wars is just the OT prequels, Clone Wars, and the parodies. Yeah, I feel like I said in the last show, I feel think us fans are going to have to decide when we're done. Because Hollywood's never going to be done with these franchises until we're done. So if we want the franchise to be done, we have to stop engaging with it and stop giving them our attention. Because that's only when they'll stop. Okay, Prototype, you remember? Okay, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about with the arms crossing thing? It drove me crazy. Cinnamon Roll 80 says, Acolyte wasn't too bad. I like the morality study. Obi-Wan was pretty good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying these shows. I'm glad someone is. But anyway. As long as she changes this up, maybe it'll be better. Let's move on. Also, there's going to be an animated Twilight series coming to Netflix. Interesting. Now, apparently, this is supposed to be based on, what's it called? Midnight Sun? Yes, Midnight Sun. That's what this is supposed to be. If you don't know what Midnight Sun is, there's a lot of lore around this book. So, a little bit more, knowledge about me, I guess, is that I used to be really obsessed with Twilight. When Twilight, the first movie was coming out, really the first couple movies, I was so obsessed with this franchise. I had read all the books. I was always there for, Thursday night showings, see the movies. Loved me some Twilight, okay? And during the big hype of Twilight, Stephenie Meyer, who's the author, decided that she was going to release a book called Midnight Suns, which was supposed to be Twilight, but from the perspective of Edward instead of Bella. That book never actually got released, I don't believe. I should double check that, actually. But I know at the time she was planning to release this book, but then the whole thing got leaked. The whole thing somehow just got leaked online. And she decided to pull the book and not release it because she was so upset that the whole thing got leaked anyway. And me being the obsessed little girl that I was so into these Twilight movies, I actually found the leaked version of that book and I read it. I actually read it. So I know what happens in the story because I actually read the leaked book all those years ago. But anyway, they're turning Midnight Sun into an animated series for Netflix. So we're going to see the events of Twilight again, but from Edward's perspective. That's what Midnight Sun is about. So I think that could be interesting. I don't know why it's animated. I guess because I don't know why it's animated, but there is a Twilight show coming out. If you guys remember, they're rebooting Twilight and turning it into a show. So I guess, I don't know if that's going to be the live action version. But is anyone interested in seeing this animated version of Twilight? Does anyone remember when the Midnight Sun book got leaked? It was a big deal for little girls. Okay, so she actually did end up publishing Midnight Sun in 2020. Okay, I did think I had read that she actually eventually published it. But that book was supposed to be released, in the early 2010s, at least 10 years prior. She wanted to release it then, but couldn't because the book got leaked. And decided not to release it until 2020, apparently. So it's out now, but for a while she was, steadfast that she was never going to release that book. So it's interesting that she actually ended up doing it. Yeah, it's not going to be Robert Pattinson, so don't get excited for that. Give Jane a proper haircut and color. What do you mean? Who's Jane? Okay, Laura B, you would watch it out of curiosity. Okay. Oh, Mr. Perfectly Fine's very happy about this. Interesting. Chao Pedro thinks this could be funny. I don't know. I think this will be mostly Twilight fans that will watch this, Twilight diehards. I still think they're around. Who knows? This could be successful. We'll see. And then lastly, I just wanted to share with you this poster really quick because Agatha's coming out pretty soon. It's coming out on the 18th. I plan on covering the show. And they are releasing a bunch of posters for it, and they know their audience. They know exactly who they're marketing to with this show because they made a spoof on Rocky Horror Picture Show. But it's Agatha All Along. You can't tell me that they don't understand their audience. Because I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. I love it. I went through a whole other phase with the Rocky Horror Picture Show where like every Halloween I would go to the theater with my friends and we would like watch through a live performance of Rocky Horror. It was a whole thing when I was in college. So the fact that they're using Rocky Horror to promote this show is like, oh, they get me. They get me. What do you guys think of this poster? Are you still looking forward to Agatha All Along? Do you think the show will actually be successful? What do you think? Seems like you guys like the posters. Okay. Jayla's actually thinking of watching this. I think it could actually be a surprise hit. I don't think people have a lot of expectations with this show, but I still think there's a potential it could be a surprise hit. Rabbi Noel forgot the show was happening. Or maybe not. That's okay, the boy. Try watching it for Halloween this year. Fredro likes the poster. Yeah, really cool poster. I really like this stuff. Really like the marketing for the show so far. So we'll see how it turns out. I don't know if the show will be great, but at least I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you all for coming to my show. Really, really appreciated you guys being here. Love talking to you guys. I will see you guys on Sunday to talk about Beetlejuice. Yes, Beetlejuice 2. That's what I'm going to be reviewing on Sunday. So make sure you're here 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to see my thoughts on that. And I'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye.